The biggest issue with the body positivity movement is the lack of addressing the health concerns. Hey, everybody, I thought I should chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today because this is one of my pet peeves. And when I get into this topic, I want to make a couple points clear. For those who are unaware of my history, I have been over 300 pounds before. I lost well over 100 pounds of body weight. Again, I got down to like 170 at one time after being 300 plus as a young man. So let's be very clear. I am not one of these people who is mocking anyone or making fun of anyone. I am also one of those guys who will tell you that yes, it is possible for a bigger woman to be beautiful. Okay? Absolutely possible. So let's get that out of the way before someone jumps in and says, well, you're just being, whatever, some sort of dick or something. My concern here is as a fitness professional who has dedicated their life, who's dedicated decades, because I'm 47 now. Keep in mind, my original weight loss journey was as a young man. Okay? I'm a coach. I'm a fitness content creator. To me, this is a concern of health. This is a concern of health and of quality of life, right? And that is what is not being addressed with all this. And it's almost scary because we see so much of this on social media of, again, particularly aimed at women, right? And it's almost this backlash, and it seems like there's no middle ground. Like you can't even bring this topic up without people pointing out. They make it about personal attacks, or they bring up skinny, underweight models. Well, that's unhealthy too. And it's like, that's the response to that is like saying if you criticize someone for doing heroin and saying it's unhealthy, and they go, well, crack is unhealthy too. Well, no crap. I mean, the level of stupidity of that response, I mean, people would look at that and go, yeah, you're an idiot. And that should almost be the response to the other. When you point that out and then people point out that another extreme, on the other extreme end of the spectrum is also unhealthy, if that is your response, then maybe you should step back at that point and go, wow, I'm a moron. Okay? And also, let's be clear. It's technically not quite as unhealthy. Is it unhealthy though? Yes, I will agree. Right? The super skinny, coked out model look is obviously unhealthy. It's still not as bad as the extreme morbid obesity. It's still a tier better. And I'm not promoting it. Let's be clear. I am not promoting that. Absolutely not promoting that because I care about health and fitness. Care about your well-being. And here's the obvious answer to that. Well, how about we take that enormous middle ground? The middle ground is massive. There's an enormous expanse between these two extremes. Ladies, you don't have to choose between being at average height. There are weights that are over 100 pounds and less than 200. Okay? It is possible. It is possible to be between 101 and 199 pounds. I know it sounds extreme. There's a whole middle ground to be had. All right, you don't have to go to the extremes. All right. Now, that being said, the problem here is again, no one's addressing the health end of it. They're like, I should feel beautiful at any size. You should accept me at any size. And it's like, it shouldn't even be about that. I mean, again, if we're going to talk about attractiveness, we're going to talk about partners. No one wants a life partner who's going to die at 50 years old or 60 years old because of bad lifestyle choices. Okay? And that's the problem. It shouldn't be about, hey, I'm big is beautiful. I'm beautiful. Accept me how I am. It's like, well, maybe we don't want to buy all that insulin and diabetes medication later. Maybe we don't want the partner who's going to have to use the little push cart when they're 55 already at the grocery store. This is the concern. It shouldn't even be about the other. It should be about health. And the same thing I would say to these people. Do you want to be that person? Like, do you want to be on insulin and diabetes medications? Do you want to feel like crap all the time? Let's stop worrying about what's beautiful. Let's stop worrying about what's sexually attractive and maybe start worrying about what's good for you, what's going to make you feel physically and emotionally good, what's going to keep you healthy, what's going to give you quality of life. Let's focus on that. Because if we're going to talk about body positivity, we're going to talk about loving yourself, abusing your body by coping with food to deal with all of our emotional problems, because isn't that a big part of it? I've made a lot of videos on how the obesity epidemic is heavily driven in a society with access to endless hyperpalatable food. How heavily is it driven by us using food as medication for our trauma, for our emotional issues? All right, all these things. This is the conversation we need to be having. Abusing your body to cope with trauma, to cope with horrible things that have happened to you, to cope with all of these things in our life, that isn't loving yourself. Okay? That's not loving yourself. And for people say, well, I exercise a lot and I eat really healthy and I'm still at this point. You won't be for long then. And if you are, then you're not being honest with yourself about what you're eating. It's not even about exercise. A person can lose 100 pounds without doing a single drop of exercise. That can be done purely with diet. Okay? You're eating junk. You're eating garbage. You are treating your body like a trash dumpster. And if you're treating your body like a trash dumpster, that isn't loving yourself. Okay? That's my problem with all of this. That is my problem with the body positivity movement. It's well-meaning, but it's not addressing the root problems. And it's certainly not looking after people's well-being. Right? Not looking after either their physical or their emotional health. It's quite the opposite. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.